Okay, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I hope you are doing well. Um, Today is Wednesday, 23rd. Sorry, I just woke up. I was having some nap, and I just woke up, so I'm a little bit disorientated. Well, today is the 3rd of September, 2025. And we have the dollar index. Now, yesterday we had price move up, came back to that level that we highlighted, that if we come back, that will act as a breaker, and we rejected. This morning I woke up to see that candle. Yeah, when I woke up, the price was here, so I was happy. At the same time, not happy, because we did react from that level and then went up, but I didn't expect them to come all the way back down as they've done. All right, now based on the daily time frame, obviously we said price is going for these upside objectives, and I still think that's the case. The only problem now is the rejection, right? But I still think price is gonna go up based on the fact that we've taken out the previous month low, previous week low, and then broken structure. So price is likely gonna continue going up. So even if we come back down here, that will still, to me, be a pullback, and then we continue going up. Okay, so the upside has not changed. We are still looking for higher prices. That means on euro, we are still looking for lower prices. Regardless of whatever is happening, price is still gonna go lower. Okay, so if you see it going up, maybe it's gonna go into a fair value gap, which is this one here, and then rejection to attack this low. Right, so I think what price is doing now is trapping traders into the market for probably Friday. Okay, Janaso. Sorry guys, I had to. I had to make a call. Okay, so as I was saying, whatever happens, we're expecting the euro to go down, and if it comes up here, you're gonna look for a rejection to go down. Okay, the same thing with the British pound. Again, I woke up to see this thing dropping, only for it to come right back up again. So yesterday, the 1 hour candle that we spoke about, it did end up closing bearish, and we moved from there, took out this low, but this morning that has rejected. Now as it's coming up, watch this low here, this particular low, because that's a breaker, and if we hit that, we might go down. Now from the daily perspective, okay, you can see how aggressive this drop is. Right, that is the reason why we are expecting lower prices. We've closed below the previous week low, so this is perfectly normal. We are heading for this equal low. Okay, so let's see how price is gonna behave when we move into this fair value gap. We also have some news event at 2:15, monetary policy report, which is on the British pound, and then at 3 p.m. we have job openings for the dollar. Okay, those two can have an impact on how price is gonna behave today. Those two is gonna have an impact on how price is gonna behave today. So just make sure those two are gonna impact price action today. So make sure you are aware of them, and then okay, euro pound, as I did mention yesterday, we are likely gonna reject here and then probably go lower. That is what I'm expecting anyway. I think this is a missed opportunity, selling this up candle, placing your stop loss, and then expecting them to come down, but it's too late. So yeah, just don't chase it, leave it alone for now. But if you want to chase it, make sure your stop loss goes above this high, and then expect them to go down. Now since we've closed above this down candle, that is going to be a partial profit taking level. Okay, and then when you get here, if you don't get any reaction, that is when you expect it to trade through it. But if you get any reaction, maybe during the session, then you basically stop, because we might, trade back up again because of the down candle, right? But yeah, I would expect them to just break it and completely go and wipe out the previous week low. Okay, so personally for this month, probably stay away from it, unless price leaves a nice obvious New York session gap and previous day's high is exposed. That's when you can trade it and go price leaves a nice obvious New York gap and previous day's high, trade it and go and take out that. But apart from that, I would recommend staying away from this pair entirely. Okay, dollar yen, that is also likely gonna continue going up. I believe we are still gonna continue going up. The next upside objective is the 150, so look for continuation to the upside. I think with all this consolidation, this big push away, today probably might end up being bullish, leaving a fair value gap as we identified yesterday, and that will help price to continue pushing to rebalance this 4-hour void that we have. Okay, so again, look for that continuation to the upside. In terms of trade entries, maybe I think where we are right now will be right here. That was a New York session gap, bearish gap that was supposed to hold price to go down, but they've managed to go through it. So we might use that to go up. So you can use that as your entry with a stop loss below this down candle, and then expect price to trade up. Okay, so that's if you want to take a trade today, probably that's the highest probability trade for today. Okay, just leave your stop loss below this and expect them to go up. Gold, we are still pushing higher. I think yesterday I said wait, if you're gonna sell, wait for this candle to close bearish before you do. It didn't, and then price screamed up again. So with that, it's a huge sign, because that has broken this high with intensity. Therefore, price is likely gonna continue going up in that direction. So you can expect price to continue going up. Now you can project the downside movement. I think the last one was this one here. The last obvious one is these two down candles. So you can project those two down candles to the upside. These two down candles to the upside. Oops. And 168 will be right here. $168 will be up here, so that is where price is likely gonna reach for, and it comes in at 3578.04. Okay, and that is your upside objectives for the gold market. So on the lower time frame, you can look for fair value gaps, especially on the H4, to hold and send you up here. I didn't do the 2% projection, so that'll be the 2% projection. Okay, so it can reach for that one too. So on the daily, these are your upside objectives. Okay. So your upside objectives is 3577 3654, and then like I said, just follow the H4 fair value gaps and the New York session gaps. Okay, those are your guidelines. It's gonna lead you to that. As soon as one of them breaks, then you switch. Okay, as soon as we break any gap, then you switch. So then stick with the upside. Don't assume it's gonna drop. Okay, if it's gonna drop, let them trade through a New York session gap or H4 gap. Okay. Crude oil, yesterday we spoke about this actually going down if we break this. I missed out on the pullback because of how aggressive the pullback was. It didn't sit well with me because on the H4 this candle couldn't close below, even though we closed below on the H1. Even though we did close below on the H1, on the H4 it didn't, and it didn't sit well with me that this was coming up in New York session. I was under the impression that they could have gone up to that before breaking down, but this morning at our usual time, price just made a dramatic drop. So I think with this drop has confirmed that continuation to the downside. So I'm expecting them to attack this low here, this low, and trade here. So that level comes in at 63.33. Okay, and then if we pull back this level here, that these up candles, or actually this down candle here, that will act as a level that price will react off from and then continue going down. So during the New York session, if we pull back, you're gonna be selling with your stop loss either above this candle if you want to be aggressive. If you want to conserve, then go up there. If you want to be aggressive, then put it there, then you go down. But wait for New York session, okay, 2 p.m. That is when you will be interested in taking any trade on this pair. Okay. Yes, yesterday we had a move almost to attack the equal low, and price rejected. Now I still think it's gonna come back to that low based on how yesterday closed. I still think it's gonna come for this equal low. Hence, during this New York session, watch where we are. This is your breaker. If you trade through it, this is your then we'll continue going up again. If we break it, then we're gonna, if we hit it and then we break down, we're gonna continue to attack this low, which is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a move to attack this equal low. Hence, watch that. And 2 p.m. Okay, at 2 p.m. if we trade through this, forget the shorts, look for longs to come and attack this high. But if we don't, then it's gonna come for this low. So watch at 2 p.m. You might get maybe a fair value gap forming. You might get an order block forming that will be leading you to the downside. Okay, so yes, that is that for the ES. Now let's move on to the crypto market. Now yesterday I was saying that if I was trading, I would have sold short to go down because of this up candle, and the only time that I will switch is if we break this up candle. I still stand with that analysis. If we break this, then we go if we break this, we go higher. If not, we go lower. Now looking at it today, technically speaking, they've gone through that imbalance. Okay, they've gone through that imbalance, which is a sign that there's a high probability that up candle might be broken. Okay, it's a sign that there's a high probability that up candle might be broken. Not the up candle is going to be broken, but a high probability it can be broken. So either you're gonna sit and wait till we break it and then you look for longs, or you can use the fact that we've closed through that imbalance to look for the long, which this one will be an aggressive entry, and then breaking above this up candle will be conservative. Yeah, if that's the word. That will be your entry for that, to look for price to go up. Which one is which? I will personally sit and wait, because as long as this is there, even though they've gone through the gap with yesterday's close, it can still trade down, which it will be hard for me to come to that conclusion that it's going to do that. Okay, everything is possible, but the way I am, I like it's going to do that. The way I am, hardcore, it's done it. Okay, which is I want to see them break it, then I'm confident it's gonna go up. Here it will be like 60-40. 60% chance it's gonna break and go higher, 40% chance it's gonna drop. And I don't do stuff like that. I need it to give me exactly what I want to see before I will engage. Okay, so that's what it's currently doing. 60-40, 60 up, 40 down. Okay, so watch that up candle. That will be the same for Ethereum. Solana did go back above the down candle, so this has now been activated as an order block, and you can look for a buy to reach the 2020 level. I think at this stage, with Solana closure yesterday, it's giving a vibe that they're going to reach for 220 level, and with that, maybe it might give a vibe for the Bitcoin to also move higher, because I don't see this coming all the way back down to attack this low. I don't see that. And the fact that the gap is here and we've managed, it went slightly below and then we've closed back above. There is an order block now, so they might use that to send price up. Okay, so with Solana, buying is actually allowed. For entry, drop down to H4, buy any H4 fair value gap, H4 down candle that we've closed above, and then aim for the 220 level. Ripple, that also managed to close above that, but that is not enough, because the last impulse leg is here with this fair value gap, hence we need to trade through the gap. So Ripple not ready to buy yet. We need to trade through the gap before a buy is allowed, because we can still hit the gap and come down one more time. So watch the 2.9435 level, and if we break it, then you can look for a buy. Okay. Hype. Okay, so hype, the gap is there. So similar to Bitcoin, if we trade through it, then we will go higher. If not, then it will reject and then aim for this, as I highlighted yesterday. So if we trade through that, then we look for buying to continue going up. If we start rejecting, you're gonna be coming down here. So watch that. If H4, we hit this level and then H4 gives you an immediate close, that might be a sign of a rejection from the fair value gap, and you're gonna aim for this area here. AI 16, I think it needs no more talking about. We need price to scream up through the first gap that price is gonna create. With this yesterday's candle being an up candle, we might get today to be an up candle, but to what extent? Does it scream or does it go up slowly? If it goes up slowly, then this gap will hold again and then send price down. But if we scream through it, then we might be seeing a reversal on the AI 16Z. So let's see how today's candle is gonna trade. Do we trade through or reject the previous day's high, because this is a fair value gap, and then go down? The question is, which one will I go for? Obviously, you know me, I'm gonna go with the flow, okay, until it changes. So the flow will be to continue going down, right? But where we are is risky to continue selling, so it's not advisable. But if you want to, you can, because that's the flow. But I'm actually looking for it to go up, which at any point in time this can come in, because where we are is too cheap. Okay, very, very cheap. So anytime price can reject and start going up. Zatsky, let me zoom in. We are almost there. Few more points or pips to go, and then that low is done, and we will see after that, because it's gone. As it's here, I can see price already there, and we will see what it will do after they've taken out that low. So keep an eye on it. Once this low is gone, then we come back and see what. So tomorrow will give us an idea. By tomorrow, this low will be done, and then we will look at going forward what price is gonna do. But most attention should be on Bitcoin, okay? Because I think based on what Solana is doing, there's a vibe that this can break that up candle and then leave possibly this fair value gap, and that will be a good sign that we are going up. Okay, that will give you a previous month low, taking daily break of structure, then we'll be going up. All right. Okay, so that is all I have for you for today. Don't forget, like I said, there are 2 news events, one at 2:15 for the British pound and one at 3 p.m. for the dollar. All right. Okay, so have a wonderful day. I'll see you same time tomorrow, and remember, Friday will be our session, and then we off for the rest of the month. Until then, take care.